The 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West recounts the legendary pilgrimage of the monk Xuanzang to India to obtain new Buddhist scriptures. In the story, he is known as Sanzang, a name derived from the Chinese characters San, meaning three, and Zhang, meaning concealing or hiding away. This is commonly interpreted as the three stores of scriptures, referred to as Tripitaka in Sanskrit, which literally means three baskets. The fictional retelling of Xuanzang's epic journey depicts Sanzang traveling to Vulture Peak, a mountain in India where the Buddha resides. The story is set during the Tang dynasty under the reign of Emperor Taizong, who ruled from 626 to 649 CE. In the novel, Sanzang receives the scriptures from the Buddha 1100 years after the historical Buddha lived, placing their meeting within a symbolical rather than a historical context. Soon after the journey begins, Sanzang asks, "Tell me, monkey, how long will it take to reach Vulture Peak?" Monkey replied, "If you went from childhood to old age and from old age to childhood again, and you did this 1,000 times over, you'd still find it hard to get there. However, if you sincerely look into your true nature and every moment of thought turn back to enlightenment, then you will have reached Vulture Peak." This passage illustrates that Journey to the West represents an inner spiritual journey, symbolizing the ascent of Vulture Peak as a metaphorical mountain within one's own mind. To emphasize this, the Chinese characters for Vulture Peak in Journey to the West are written as Ling Shan, which literally translates to Spirit Mountain, highlighting its deeper spiritual significance rather than a physical location. Everything in the book points to an internal transformation. The birth of Monkey from a stone egg symbolizes the emergence of the mind ruler or the mind of Tao. Monkey's spiritual education with the teacher represents the process of acquiring the knowledge and tools vital for awakening. His punishment of being trapped under the five elements mountains for 500 years signifies the suffering required to make the lower self passive. Monkey agreeing to assist Sanzang on the journey symbolizes the mind ruler serving a higher purpose rather than acting out of self-interest. Sanzang and his disciples Monkey, Pig, Friar Sand and the Dragon Horse traveling together and assisting each other represents the five elements in harmony, while their conflicts illustrate the scattering of the five elements. Throughout the arduous journey to Vulture Peak, Sanzang is repeatedly captured by demons, symbolizing the resistance of one's lower self to the spiritual path. Contrary to expectations, this resistance intensifies as the journey progresses. Monkey often needs divine assistance to defeat the demons and rescue Sanzang, highlighting the necessity of divine intervention in one's spiritual quest for awakening. Journey to the West says, "Do not go far to seek the Buddha on Vulture Peak. Vulture Peak is in your heart." Everybody has a Vulture Peak stupa under which to cultivate oneself. A stupa is a dome-shaped or mountain-like structure often associated with Mount Meru, the center of the Buddhist cosmos. It symbolizes the enlightened mind of Buddha and the path to enlightenment. In China, the stupa involved into the pagoda, which are also very prominent in Japan. The story of Journey to the West begins with a creation myth in which the world was divided into 4 continents. This echoes the structure of the Buddhist cosmos with 4 continents and Mount Meru in the center. The creation myth in Journey to the West does not depict the creation of the physical world, nor does the Buddhist cosmos represent an external universe. Instead, both symbolize the creation and workings of the mind of Tao. The hells below represent unfavorable mental states, like all kinds of negative emotions such as depression, anger, jealousy, greed, etc. The heavens represent higher states of consciousness. The top of Mount Meru is home to the 33 gods led by the god Indra. These gods symbolize various methods to aid in spiritual awakening. In Journey to the West, Mount Meru is replaced by the mountain of flowers and fruit and described in chapter 1. The mountain of flower and fruit is the heaven-supporting pillar, the earth's root, unchanged through a myriad aeons. One day, a stone egg forms from which a monkey is born. Monkey initially embodies the restless monkey mind within oneself. Like a monkey, leaping from branch to branch, this mind incessantly jumps from thought to thought. After being concerned about his mortality, Monkey embarks on a journey and searches for a teacher who can reveal the secret of immortality. After a 10-year quest, he finds a Taoist teacher who lives in a cave. In front of the cave is a tablet inscribed with large characters, "The spiritual mountain of the square inch, cave of the slanting moon and the 3 stars." Symbolically, Monkey's teacher resides within the square inch of the spiritual mountain, representing an inner presence within oneself. Chen Shubai noted, "The Great Way is not separate from the square inch, where careful and disciplined work takes place." Similarly, the secret of the golden flower teaches, in the square inch field of the square foot house, life can be regulated. The square foot house refers to the face, and the square inch field upon it is none other than the heavenly heart. In the middle of this square inch resides the God of utmost emptiness and life. The square inch symbolizes the spiritual dwelling of one's higher self. Thus, the teacher who dwells within the square inch is one's own higher self, the God of utmost emptiness and life. Yet, because one is not in direct contact with his inner guide, an external teacher is still necessary to impart the knowledge of practical discipline and guide one through the work of spiritual cultivation. The character for heart, which can also mean mind, is composed of a crescent moon and 3 stars. The crescent moon represents the return of light in one's heart, referring to the return of self-awareness, while the 3 stars signifies impulses in one's heart to sustain self-awareness. The Sufi poet similarly expressed, "In the center of my heart a star has appeared." The spiritual inner journey requires being alert to one's restless monkey mind. The Chinese character for alert combines heart and star. In Journey to the West, 3 Chinese deities, known as the 3 stars, assist Sanzang on his journey to India. Liu Yiming describes them as inner guides, stating, "The internal companions open the gate of heaven." One of the Chinese 8 trigrams mountain represents stillness. Liu Yiming commented, "Mountain represents stopping in stillness. In the body of the trigram, one yang rests on top of two yins. The yang is above, the yin is below. Yang governs yin, and yin obeys yang, ensuring that the celestial remains undamaged by the mundane." Journey to the West says, "The body of pure yang was happy in the sun. The yin demons dared not use their might." While Li Daochun said, "When students of the Tao know this secret, the yang spirit is intensely powerful and the yin demons vanish." The term mountain symbolizes the stilling of the restless, chaotic monkey mind, also referred to as the mind ape within oneself. This concept is illustrated at the start of Journey to the West, where monkey represents the unruly, undisciplined mind. His punishment, being trapped under the 5 elements mountain for 500 years due to his insubordination, serves as a metaphor for the mind's need for discipline and stillness. Journey to the West says, "Do not let the rebellious monkey mind howl. When the passions are stilled and one's nature is firm, all entanglements vanish." Monkey gained his freedom after agreeing to accompany and serve the monk Sanzang on his journey to India in search of sacred scriptures. His long suffering under the mountain brought a profound transformation, and from that moment on he came to symbolize the mind of Tao. Liu Yiming further elaborates on the trigram mountain, stating, "When practitioners of the Tao concentrate and store their spirit and energy, remaining unstirring and unwavering, they should resemble the stillness of a mountain." The Chinese characters for the name Sanzang carry a profound inner meaning, suggesting the act of storing one's spirit and energy threefold, to allow the inner young light of self-awareness to manifest, symbolized by the 3 young lines of the trigram for the creative. This concept can also be seen in the well-known image of the 3 wise monkeys, embodying the principle of seeing no evil, hearing no evil, and speaking no evil, where evil pertains to anything disrupting self-awareness. In Journey to the West, it is said that 3 yang bring peace. Peace is the English name of hexagram number 11 Tai, which is also called tranquility. This hexagram features 3 yang lines below and 3 yin lines above, representing both a harmonious balance of yin and yang, and yin energy being passive and submitting to yang energy. In hexagram 11, the lower trigram, the creative, represents the inner world, while the upper trigram, the receptive, reflects the outer world. Internally, one embodies firm yang energy, steadfast and unmoved like a mountain, remaining unaffected by external stimuli. This inner stillness allows the light of self-awareness to be sustained. Externally, one embodies flexibility, adapting fluidly to the opportunities and challenges that arise in each moment. A Chinese proverb cleverly plays on the concept that 3 yang bring peace. It says, 3 goats bring peace. This wordplay arises because the character yang in the I Ching shares the same pronunciation as the character for goat, both pronounced as yang. Both the three monkeys and the three goats symbolize the three young lions of the trigram the creative, representing the light of self-awareness. One of the 8 Chinese immortals, Zhongli Chuan, said, "By continually applying effort, immortals refine their form into the one primordial breath, causing the 5 breaths to return to the source and the 3 yangs to converge at the top of the head. They renounce the dust of the mundane world to return to the 3 mountains, thus becoming an immortal." The Chinese character for immortal is composed of the character for person, which changes its shape when it becomes part of another character, and the character for mountain. This has led many to believe that becoming an immortal necessitates retreating to the mountains and becoming a hermit. However, the true meaning is only internal. Becoming an immortal involves ascending one's inner mountain. The character for mountain depicts 3 peaks, symbolizing the 3 yang of the trigram the creative. Journey to the West, in speaking about the birth of Monkey, who was born from a stone egg, says, 3 yang produce tranquility and gives life to all. The immortal stone contains the seed of the sun and the moon. The symbolism of the trigram the creative with 3 yangs is boundless. Liu Yiming said, "Ascending to the summit of the Kunlun Mountains represents the convergence of the 3 flowers at the crown of the head." The Kunlun Mountains represent the state of enlightenment, similar to the Buddhist Mount Meru and the 3 flowers and the 3 yang. The secret of the golden flower says, when one turns around the light inward upon oneself, the mind is not aroused by things. Yin energy is arrested and the golden flower radiates, which is pure yang energy. Similarly, in Journey to the West, Sun Wukong said, "I learned a great spell of immortality. Turning my gaze inwards, I sat and calmed my mind." Vulture Peak, Mount Meru, the mountain of flowers and fruit, and the Kunlun Mountains are all metaphors for a spiritual mountain within oneself. Journey to the West is about ascending this spiritual mountain.